Hi, I'm Kesenya and welcome to Guiding Star Astrology. I'm your Astro Weather Girl, here with this week's Astro Weather Report. I'm going to show you how the stars are going to affect your life this week. In my videos, I use both Vedic and traditional Western techniques with tropical astrology, not sidereal astrology. I also use the traditional system of whole sign astrology for my analysis. You can use this video to the best of your advantage by listening to the introduction to understand what the week holds for you, and then going to the timestamps for your sun, moon, and rising sign to get a more personalized forecast for the week ahead. Astrology is not designed to scare you. It's designed to give you information so that you know what the good and the challenging energies in the week ahead will be, and you can therefore consciously work with them to the best of your advantage. Remember, knowledge is power. Now, there are scammers about, and so if you should receive a message from me on any platform requesting your money for a reading, know that it is a scam. Report them immediately. And now settle in and let's see what the astral skies have in store for the week ahead. Hello, my beautiful YouTube family. Such a joy to be with you for my first video for the year 2024. Very exciting. We're looking this week at the energies that are playing out from the 13th to the 20th of January. And this is going to be one of the key weeks this year because guess what? Pluto's moving back into Aquarius for his 2024 stint. Now let's have a look at some of the other energies that are playing out in the week ahead. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you would like to go into the competition to win a year ahead written report from me. That mentioned, let's move along and look at the energies. On the 13th of January, Mercury over here in Sagittarius is going to be moving into the sign of Capricorn. So this will shift the mercurial energy, which is our mental and communicative processes. And when Mercury goes into the methodical sign of Capricorn, our communicative processes can slow a little. There's a heavy energy in Capricorn, even though Mercury does okay here. But our appreciation of structure and order might increase with this shift, and we might need to handle our information in more manageable chunks. You know, an oversupply of YouTube documentaries and astrology videos might cause you to have a bit of a meltdown. We just want to pace ourselves and go slow and steady to absorb the information when Mercury's in Capricorn. So it's a good time to begin practically oriented projects, things that will be useful for us, to grow our presence and to grow our social status in the world. Get on to those sorts of things. Mercury can give you a lot of logic, a lot of structure and planning about working with those things. And do be very conscious while Mercury is here for roughly the next month. Be conscious of developing a mental attitude of criticism and doubtfulness, doubtfulness and criticism of yourself and maybe of other people too. Instead, be aware and develop a mantra of keeping things light and bright and breezy. And if you can do that, keep it upbeat. You should fly through Mercury and Capricorn season with total aplomb, my friends. Then we have on the 19th of January, Mercury making a trine to Jupiter down here. So Mercury's going to keep on ticking through Capricorn and eventually catch up to Jupiter by trine. And isn't it a time for some good news? By the 19th of January, we'll be looking for messages from Spirit and Divine and the world around us that lift our spirits. So on the 19th of January, the good news might arrive on your doorstep, especially if you are somebody who has any of the mutable signs strong in your chart. Why the mutable signs? That's Gemini, Virgo, Taurus. No. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Why the mutable signs? Well, that's what Mercury and Jupiter govern. They're the two bodies that govern all the mutable signs. So Sagittarius and Pisces are governed by Jupiter, and Gemini and Virgo are governed by Mercury. So that's why if you've got those signs strong in your chart, you might feel this trine between Mercury and Jupiter so much more. You might be feeling upbeat, positive, wanting to talk and chat for hours on end, sharing your thoughts, sharing your knowledge. It's a beautiful energy for also engaging in group activities, communicating well with others, especially if we happen to be teaching or facilitating something. And if travel is on the cards, both of these planets have to do with travel, then it's going to be enjoyable and hassle-free, easy peasy lemon squeezy. If you have any legal matters to attend to, and this is for anyone, not just mutable signs, if you've got any legal matters to attend to, any contracts to sign or proposals to sign, then the 19th of January can be your friend. This is a supportive energy that really helps in developing positive big picture outcomes, while ensuring that you're paying attention to the minor details as well. Mercury, Jupiter in good aspect brings that about. So good news with that one. Also on the 19th of January, there's something that's perhaps not as pleasant as a Mercury-Jupiter trine, and that is a square between Venus and Neptune. So Venus, who is actually in the latter degrees of Sagittarius, making an aspect to the latter degrees of Pisces. So this energy, look, it's about our perceptions and how we perceive the world around us. They're not going to be matching up with reality too well. You know, we might think we're Rapunzel about to be rescued from her tower, when in reality we've got the enemy crouching at the door kind of thing. Just misguided understandings of what's going on in life. So be careful under this energy where you place your trust on the 19th of January, especially when it comes to romantic partners. Venus energy. This is an influence that can result in disastrous affairs, getting involved in circumstances that lead to addiction, or simply being ripped off by some kind of shonky, shyster kind of person. So naturally, with this fanciful yet very deceptive energy, we can wind up feeling very disappointed and disillusioned with our circumstances. So what can we do about this? How can we channel this energy positively? Well, having a healthy form of luxurious escapism, if you can have something like that up your sleeve, that's the perfect antidote. And what a great antidote that is. So book yourself a pamper session on the 19th. Book yourself some esteem-building beauty treatment for the day, without any expectations of the results, turning you, from some frump into Marilyn Monroe. That's not going to happen. But if you just do it for the pure joy, relaxation, and escapism of the process, and you just enjoy the experience for its own sake, you're going to have a wonderful, wonderful day. That is the best way to work with this energy. Then on the 20th of January, the day after, it all starts hitting the road. The rubber starts hitting the road. We have over here the Sun and Pluto making a conjunction. They're going to conjunct first at 29 degrees of Capricorn. But throughout the course of the day, both the planets, Pluto and the Sun are going to shift together into Aquarius. I find this actually quite fascinating that of all the days for the energy of Pluto to shift from Capricorn to Aquarius for 2024, it happens to be the same day that there's a conjunction with the Sun. Now, this is interesting to me in that what does the Sun represent? It represents kingly energy, the king. It represents the rulership. It represents royalty and, unfortunately, I hate using this word, but it represents the elite in a conjunction with Pluto as it changes signs. Now, there's so many connotations to Pluto changing signs in financial astrology. Also, the Sun has an impact when it changes signs in financial astrology as well. Mundane astrology, I'm not going to go into big predictions about those sorts of things here, because mostly this is a personal astrology channel. I like to work with things on a personal level. But this, we can't help but notice this is quite an empowering combination. And it's my hope that it's not going to empower those at the top tier of society at the expense of the everyday schmoes like you and I. Empowerment, I believe, can be ours under this transit. We're going to feel totally capable of taking life by the horns and bending it to our will. That's the energy of, feeling into Pluto conjunct the Sun. let's leave the mundane aside with the empowerment of the sun representations on Earth, the leadership, the elite, the hierarchies, that sort of thing. Let's leave that aside. Let's hope that it's not going to empower them to our detriment. But let's talk about personal things. Empowerment is present. The sun in everybody's individual chart represents their identity, how we identify, the I am of who we are. And here is the sun in conjunction with Pluto. I am powerful, says this combination. I am empowered. And so with this sense of, empowerment, we can feel, like I said, totally capable of taking life by the horns, bending it to our will. But the hiccup that is here is that this can come with a tendency towards manipulation and control. I might try to manipulate and control you. You might try to manipulate and control me. It can go either way or both ways. And we need to be very conscious of this energy. That's the shadow side of Pluto-Sun conjunction, whether you've got it in your natal chart or it's happening by transit like it is on the 20th of January. Now, in the positive, the sun is the great illuminator. Without the sun's light, we know nothing. We are in darkness. And Pluto, god of the underworld, at the opposite end of the solar system, they're kind of polaric energies in many ways. Pluto's the god of the darkness. Sun is the god of the light. So what does this then represent? It represents that hidden secrets and power plays, nasty agendas, and financial dodginess get illuminated. Pluto is the darkness, all those things I just described. And what comes out under the sun's illumination? The revelation of all those power plays, nasty agendas, dodgy deals. So are you ready for what's going to be revealed? It's my hope that the Pluto in mundane astrology, that the Pluto-Sun conjunction will actually highlight to the masses, represented by the sign of Aquarius, okay, and perhaps I should point this out. Capricorn is the sign of hierarchies, those class systems and the people at the top of the tree, whereas Aquarius is everybody, what's good for the whole, what's good for society. And so fascinating that the sun conjunct Pluto, revealing the dodgy agendas, is happening first in Capricorn, showing us the dodgy agendas of the hierarchies, and then moving on the same day together into the sign of the masses. I feel, just sensing this as I'm talking here, that what's going to happen is that the dodginess of the hierarchies will be illuminated, and it will be shown to and revealed to the masses as this day progresses. So keep an eye on the news, see what's happening through the, whatever news sites you read or journal articles and that kind of thing, because there's likely to be a lot of information that comes to light as a result of this energy, I feel. So are we ready? Are we ready for what we might find out? Time will tell. So our own psyche, which is often connected to Pluto as well, can come under scrutiny. Our destructive attitudes, our hurtful behaviors, the dark sides of who we are, the shadow sides, those things too personally can see the light of day, and hopefully we will deal with them and dissolve them. Pluto is actually an energy that dissolves things, but only dissolves things once we become aware of it, once it's shown to us. And then it no longer has any power over us. It's like once the corner of the basement with all its cobwebs and spiders and darkness and yuck is shown up in the light, well, then we can deal with it. We can sweep away the cobwebs and put those spiders outside, and it's no longer able to scare us because the light has shown what's going on in the darkness. Same with us personally and also on the global level. So that's how Pluto dissolves, by things being illuminated, coming to our consciousness, being aware of things. They're dissolved out of our life. They no longer have power. So naturally, my friends, this is a terrific transit to transform yourself at a core level. I love talking about Pluto. He is such a powerful planet in the chart. And when he's conjunct with the sun, it's even more noticeable. Pluto wants us to embrace our true soul purpose. And for some, this transit might illuminate exactly what that purpose is, where we need to get on track with our ability to shine. So that's something to look forward to. This transit might show us to our true power. Now, as I said, the sun is going to move into Aquarius, followed by Pluto. So the sun, as I said, illuminates wherever it goes in the zodiac. So in the month that it will be in Aquarius, it is Aquarius's turn to shine. Happy birthday, my Aquarian friends. Our focus moves to collective endeavors when the sun goes into Aquarius, creating community, finding practical solutions to social issues. Logic, in fact, also take the helm, and let's hope it gives us sorry about that noise, and let's hope it gives us a good dose of truth interspersed in all that scientific perspective that Aquarius is known for and can emphasize. So we want some truth coming out. Being quite a social sign, the spirit of connection could be very strong, and you might find yourself looking for new ways to reach out, new ways to collaborate and network with other people. Tenacity is also a hallmark of Aquarian energy, so during this transit of the sun, you might be called upon to exhibit some tenacity in your life. And if you do, it can really pay off. Reach into that energy and work with it. Now also, I've said, Pluto is moving into Aquarius. Here goes Pluto, dipping his toe into the waves of the water bearer yet again. And this is he's already been there in 2023 and back he is again. This is no trifling transit. It's a topic that's been well explored by astrologers over the last few years, actually, and you'll find information that I've done on my Astro Weather playlist. I did one last week, or I reshared an old video with you all last week about Pluto in Aquarius. So, as I said, financial astrologers, mundane astrologers, weather astrologers, personal astrologers like me, we all acknowledge that the ingress chart that is cast when a planet, particularly Pluto, moves into a new sign, a big gun like Pluto, we know this is very, very important. So we're all taking note. So the next few months are going to reveal to us a taste of this new humanitarian agenda that Pluto will bring about over the next 20 years. We're going to see rising up in some way the key power players. We're going to see the purging and the purifying. You're going to see examples of that and illustrations of that, the purging and the purifying and the key players that it's going to be important to keep our eye on for the next 20 years in the journey of humanity. So do pay attention as Pluto moves into Aquarius, what happens on that day and also what happens while he is in that sign. So my friends, what is going to happen for us this week? And today, or I'm looking at this week, the 20th of January, when we have the conjunction of Pluto and the Sun. What is that all about? Well, it's going to mean, and let's start by looking here at Aquarius as the first house. Here we are, Aquarius, first house, where all the action's going to take place. Pluto conjunct the Sun on the 20th. For Aquarius people, this means empowerment is coming home to you. It's very personal for you. You have the power. I feel like I'm, He-Man, Master of the Universe. I have the power. I think it was He-Man who said that. Either that or Skeletor, one of those guys. But either way, that's Pluto can be the darkness and the Sun is the light. You are perhaps facing your shadow side in a very powerful way. You might even, with this transit, receive some sort of rebirth of vital energy and willpower. Do watch out for you being the manipulator, you being the one controlling others, though. You might think that you're the sweetest, kindest person on the planet, but this is an energy. And how well do you deal with that energy? Do you give in to the desire to dominate and control and be a control freak of other people? Be very conscious of that, Aquarius, because it will be strong on the 20th. Secrets can come out and be revealed as a part of this energy. And so it's your secrets that are being illuminated, not the secrets of other people that you suddenly discover. It's, whatever darkness you have that you've kept hidden about who you are and what you think and how you feel and, what sort of naughty things you're up to can be illuminated. So be forewarned, forearmed about that one. Get your affairs in order before this transit occurs. We can also find that if you have been somebody that's abusing power, and I'm speaking negatively here, but that's just the nature of Pluto Sun conjunction in the house of you. If you've been abusing your power in any way, dominating others, not appreciating others, not seeing the value and the worth in other people, then that's going to be shown to you as well. Where you're given an inch and you take a mile, where you sort of always running other people down or making other people feel bad. You know, that's shown to you through some circumstance that will manifest this week, potentially. But the good news is with Pluto conjunct the Sun, it's an opportunity for you to transform yourself. When you are shown to your shadow side, and we all have a shadow side, I'm not picking on Aquarius, but when your shadow sign is shown to you, it gives you the opportunity to do something about it. And you know, if you can deal with your shadow side and acknowledge and accept your shadow side at this point in Pluto's transit, then the next 20 years is going to be a breeze for you. But if you sweep it under the rug, if you deny it, if you pretend it doesn't exist, then, you know, you might be in for 20 years of grappling with some really difficult issues. So use this energy to transform yourself. You know, I talked about in my Pluto in Aquarius video, failing to act on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, even though it's going to last 20 years, but it's an opportunity to evolve and to create and to assert ourselves. If you don't grab that bull by the horns and make the most of that, it's going to be lost forever. So really, transform yourself. Trust your gut. You know what you need to do to make life work for you and be what you need it to be. You know what action you need to take. Then trust your gut and grab this opportunity of Pluto moving here and transform yourself. Many people on the 20th of January and around the 20th of January might have circumstances in their life that it's not going to happen like an aha moment, but it might happen that there's some seeds planted and some triggers that occur that will push you into your new soul purpose that may actually last with you for the next 20 years. So, you know, seeds are planted. You might feel sensitive. You might feel vulnerable. You might have a lot of people giving unsolicited advice. It's up to you whether you take it or not. You might have opportunities that present themselves. You might be able to grow out of an old habit or an old circumstance that was really bringing you down. And as you do so, you realize your potential. You are empowered. That's what the word means. You're realizing your potential. You have some sense of your individuality and where you want to go and what you want to make life look like for you. So pay attention. Maybe get your journal out and write down the things you feel, the things you experience, the people you meet, and what you think it all means. Because this transit of Pluto and the Sun into Aquarius is very empowering for you and may help you find some fabulous new life direction. Thank you, Aquarius. Okay, we're going to move on from Aquarius to Pisces next. Pisces rising, Pisces sun, Pisces moon, people, of which I am one. This is an energy that's taking place in the 12th house. And this is where Pluto, not the sun, but Pluto is going to be for the next 20 years. And so really, it's a time that the sun here is going to, illuminating Pluto issues, is going to illuminate the phobias, the neurosis, the hang-ups, the behavioral patterns, the self-sabotaging that we do that really holds us back. So the sun's going to show us to ourselves in that way. And this could be places where we've missed opportunities in the past and we feel bad about it. This could be, you know, places where we've put a restriction on ourselves and held ourselves back through some boundary, some lack of confidence, that kind of thing. And the sun's going to show us where we've let ourselves down in the past, because the 12th house is the house of the past. But what is going to also happen through the conjunction of Pluto and the sun moving into Aquarius together is that we're going to embrace empowerment. Once you have knowledge and awareness of where you've failed or where you've fallen short, then you have the power to turn it around, to change it, to take it in a new direction. So really, this is a wonderful week of inner growth and time to reconnect with your meaning and your purpose. You know, there's a time of saying, that's it, I'm not going to put that boundary in place anymore. You're going to know yourself so much deeper, and that can heal the soul, you know, when you're the hiccups of who you are illuminated. So I've mentioned this in last week's video, but Pluto is considered by some to be exalted in Pisces, and therefore the association with the 12th house is quite a brilliant one. So it could be a very empowering time for Pisces people as they see old blockages dissolve and disappear out of their lives. Now, that said, the 12th house is a house of secrets. It's a house of not secrets that we don't know about. Okay, so the 8th house is the skeleton in the closet. We know it's there. We hear it rattling around. The 12th house is like you've got no idea. You know, do you really know about your past life? No. If you have a past life regression, well, you can assume that might be a past life, but do you know it? Not really. That's a secret. Past life regression is considered to be associated partly with the 8th house, but also strongly with the 12th house. And so when we're talking about secrets in a 12th house situation, we're talking about the things you aren't even aware of. And when we have this combination happening, the sun illuminates the things about yourself that you didn't even know were issues, that you didn't even know were things. Somebody points something out to you. A circumstance unfolds and you see yourself behaving in a way you never thought you would ever behave. And that is like a secret coming out. If you in the past have abused your power, 12th house is past, and Pluto conjunct Sun can illuminate where you've abused power or where somebody's abuse of power has hurt you. You can transform that now. This is an energy that's very powerful for transforming. Like Pluto is abuse, Sun is illuminating where abuse has occurred, either by yourself to someone else or by someone else to you. And it's also a powerful tool for transformation, Sun conjunct Pluto. So this is really, rather than looking forward, this is an energy of looking back and healing the past, transforming yourself as a result of, work you've done or transforming past hurts and wounds. It's also about, it's not a house of looking forward to the future, but it's perhaps a house of being guided by other entities, angels, ancestors that have passed over towards our ultimate destiny. So really, I know so many people who started businesses when they had, for example, Pluto transiting their 12th house. They started businesses that were really their soul's mission, their soul's purpose. But in starting it, they didn't realize it at the time. They started it because they felt compelled to, or they had to pay the bills or something like that. It's like they were pushed into the purpose or the business or whatever it was through mechanisms that were not their own choice, but it ended up being their own purpose, their own destiny. So I feel that for many Pisces people, Pluto conjunct Sun will be planting some seeds that will ultimately take you to a deeper soul purpose that might reveal itself later on in the transit of Pluto through the 12th house. So pay attention to what happens around the 20th of January, because you might be about to step into your Dharma or go deeper with your Dharma as a result of this transit. Thank you, Pisces. Aries rising, Aries sun, Aries moon people. The energy of the conjunction of Pluto and the Sun on the 20th of January is being felt in the 11th house. Now, this is where you just need to be careful, Aries, because it can go either from you to other people or other people to you. But this is an energy in its shadow side that can indicate manipulation and control. And this might be coming from friendship groups. You're part of a group and, that peer pressure. Oh, if you don't do it this way, then we're going to kick you out kind of thing. Well, that's what this can be. There's manipulation. There's controlling of your thoughts and actions by the mass, by the group, by the trend, by the whatever. So do be careful of that, coming your way or being part of a group that is doing that to somebody else. It's a group energy of manipulation and control. Either you're part of the group or you're on the receiving end of the group manipulation and control. Be very aware and wary of that. Also, we can see social media and things on the internet performing in that regard as well. You really, for Aries, you guys might be noticing the cancel culture more than ever around the 20th of January, or the having your posts deleted for BS misinformation or something like that. There's control from mass media. There's control from the internet, an internet-based bodies. So, and sometimes we see that happening, like, you might apply to a government agency or something like that to do something, and there's sorry about the door banging in the background, guys. You might apply to a government agency, for example, and they say you have not filled out such and such correctly, and you feel a bit sort of frustrated, you feel violated. It's this controlling nanny state kind of influence of things, and that's kind of what I'm talking about here as well. Now, also, Aries, Pluto conjunct the Sun can reveal secrets. The Sun illuminates the Pluto energy, which is the darkness, the things hidden. And so if there are secrets in your friendship groups, if there are secrets about mass media, if there are secrets about, online internet-based services and things like that, if there are secrets about humanitarian organizations, not-for-profits, if there are secrets about social activism, there's a dark side to some social activist group or something like that, or some protest group, it can be illuminated. It might be shown to you, Aries. So it mightn't be, happening for everybody to see, but it might happen in a manner that you find out about it. You find out that the head of your not-for-profit organization has been funneling, funds on the side into something, one of their own ventures or their own private bank account or something. Like, secrets come out about these big community groups and humanitarian groups and things like that. That can come to light as a result of this as well. You might find out things about your friends or your friendship group that leave you feeling a little bit aghast, a little bit like, oh, that's so disappointing and discouraging to find that out. Abuse of power is another thing that is illuminated with Pluto conjunct the Sun. And so, again, I just repeat the same thing again. Watch out for people sort of in groups and organizations and clubs abusing power. There's been things in the media over many years here in Australia about our football culture, clubs and groups, football clubs and groups, and how it was very toxic and it was very, demeaning of certain people groups in society and things. And they've really had to clean up their football club culture in Australia because it was quite bad for some time there. And that's the kind of thing we're talking about here, the illumination of some abuse of power by a group or an organization or a club. But you know what else this energy is all about? Aries, it is about transforming yourself through your connection with these things, through your connection with other people, friends, clubs, groups and organizations. So not every club is going to be shown as being, a piece of shit. There might be opportunity for this conjunction of Pluto and the Sun to actually serve as a benefit to you. So you decide you're going to go join the local tennis club, and lo and behold, you make the best friends you've ever had in your life here, and you transform your whole social network because you went and joined the tennis club. That's what we're talking about. It could work that way for you, where your connection with a group of people transforms your life, changes your life, even heals your life. Pluto, when he's working in the right manner, can be very, very healing. So that can be powerful. So reach out, connect, network. You never know what good things might be brought about by this energy. This is also the house of goals and ambitions. And so there could be some sort of change, a shift of gears regarding your goals and ambitions as well. There could be a greater focus on enjoying your life and feeling fulfilled and finding some sort of soul purpose. Pluto-Sun conjunction helps us live our soul purpose. And in the 11th house of our dreams and goals and our visions for what life could be like. Wow, what a great combination to have, Aries. What a great combination. You might find that your dreams and goals, are fulfilled. Now, it may not happen on the 20th, that suddenly, boom, there it is, and you're living, life in the lap of luxury because that was your dream and goal and purpose. No, it's more like there's going to be seeds planted in powerful ways that could really grow, and perhaps grow quite fast too. But things will happen. You'll meet people, influential people, benefactors, You might meet new friendship groups, new circles. You might develop new actions that you want to take towards your goals and ambitions that ultimately will lead you to that higher place that you aspire to be. So really quite a wonderful energy if it works for you in the right way, and it's my prayer that it does, Aries. Taurus rising, Taurus sun and Taurus moon people. Well, we've got a conjunction up here of Sun and Pluto occurring in a very powerful area of the chart, the 10th house. This is the realm of career and the realm of achievement, but it's also to do with people in hierarchical positions. Your boss, the prime minister, the government as a whole. It's about people in positions of authority. So on some occasions it represents the policeman who pulls you over on the side of the road, or the doctor who's telling you must do this or your life is in danger. It is people in positions of hierarchical dominance. Now, the thing here is Pluto conjunct the Sun. What might be revealed is how some of these people have manipulated you or controlled you or coerced you into something that is out of alignment with you and is not part of who you are. So be aware of that, be conscious of that. Those people have a position of power, and Pluto conjunct Sun can indicate a manipulation of power or control. Secrets can come out about those sorts of people as well, Taurus. You might find out something. It's also father figures, actual father or people who have a fatherly role. There might be some secrets revealed about your paternal line, or maybe your great-grandfather or something like that. You find out some secret in your father's life that's revealed under this conjunction. Or you find out a secret about your boss or a secret about the prime minister. Yes, that could be very telling. You find out all about it. Secrets come out. The Sun illuminates the Pluto secrets of the authority figures. Also, coupled with this, the same kind of tone is the abuse of power is revealed. If your boss has been demanding that you stay back and work weekends, work night shift or something like that without getting paid, and he's been pocketing all the money, well, that abuse of power is going to be seen, it's going to be known, and they might have come crashing down as a result of that illumination. So that can happen. If you have been taking advantage of your boss, if you've been abusing, parental abuse, father abuse or something like that, and taking advantage of an elderly father or something, that can be revealed. Pluto Sun illuminates, and this time it's going to illuminate very powerfully because it's connected with the change of signs. So get ready, my friends. If you've been abusing your position in not just a boss or a father figure or something, but if you've been abusing your position in a company, your position of hierarchy, and taking advantage of people in lesser positions than you, that's going to come out. You're going to be found out for what you're doing, and those sorts of things will be shown. Now, I would encourage you, if you are listening to this and you're somebody who's been doing that, to transform yourself quickly in the early stages of Pluto in Aquarius, lest you suffer 20 years of difficulty and challenge, because Pluto is going to be moving through this sign for about 20 years. So really, focus on transforming yourself. Get your affairs in order. Make sure that you right your wrongs when Pluto Sun conjunction illuminates them and shows them to you and perhaps to the world. I'd say for many of you, they're going to be shown to the world because this is in the 10th house, the point of the highest point of the Sun, the most illumination of the Sun. So for our Taurus friends, that can happen. But this is all very dark and heavy and difficult. So let's talk about some of the good things, because this conjunction can mean really wonderful things. For many Taurus people, they're going to be stepping into their empowerment regarding career now. Some of you Taurus people might be given a promotional opportunity, a chance to step up, a chance to have a position of more authority, more power. This is a combination that can bring a high level of empowerment for you out in the world. It can bring recognition. It can bring notoriety, can bring a good reputation your way. It can bring stepping into a position of dominance, a position of power. So that's quite exciting. But also, as I mentioned a moment ago, it means that any transformation of self that you undertake can be known by everybody, and that can sometimes be a good thing. Like, we can be such an example to others in the lives we live and the work we undertake. You know, nobody's perfect, and if the sun does illuminate something dark about you to other people, then, you know, use it as a superpower for good, and start changing your life so that other people can see, you know, that you are, you know, capable of change and capable of being a good person, you know. So transformation comes. Remember also, this is a position of power. So remember to help others in need, you know. Look to help other people, heal other people. Use opportunities for leadership to serve other people for good and lift humanity up for good. And use that as a source of transformation, you know. A lot of people will transform their career. You know, they might be given an opportunity to rise with this combination, but they might also be given an opportunity to change careers, to move into something else. And this might have a great deal to do with finding their soul purpose. Sun conjunct Pluto can help us really understand our identity, who I am in the world, and we might start to identify with some new career as our source of meaning, as our source of purpose. So if you feel, you know, that within you, where you're at career-wise is not really floating your boat, start looking around. Start exploring other options. Start moving the energy in a different direction, because Sun conjunct Pluto could be just what you need to show you to your purpose, your meaning, your dharma. So don't just sit stuck in a rut. Start making the changes. Start moving towards the purpose and the meaning that you want to live. Thank you, Taurus. Gemini rising, Gemini sun, and Gemini moon people. Well, we've got the conjunction of we have the conjunction of Pluto with the sun forming in the 9th house. Now this, let me get my little clip. This is really all about, the 9th house is all about our meaning and our purpose, and the conjunction of the sun with Pluto is also about finding meaning and purpose. We might be a bit obsessive about this at the time on the 20th of January, but the illumination of the sun will reveal it to us. So I really feel that for Gemini people, they're going to step into a sense of meaning that they might not have had for years. You know, the archetype of the 9th house is similar to Sagittarius. It's the archer pointing his arrow towards the future. So it doesn't mean that you're suddenly going to know exactly what you're meant to do with your life as a result of this transit. But it does mean that something might be happening. Some seed will be planted, some person enter your life, some opportunity to learn something new particularly, or travel to some destination that might change your life and give you meaning and purpose. Some expansion of the soul. The 9th house is a house of adventure, and we expand ourselves through having adventures of the mind, through gathering knowledge and wisdom, through doing university courses and other forms of higher learning, or we expand our life experience through exploring other cultures, going to other places, getting out of our comfort zone in terms of life experience. So having adventures is a 9th house thing. And through doing those 9th house things, you may now find your soul purpose, meaning. And you, like I said, you might be a bit obsessed with finding it. So if somebody, you know, says, hey, let's take a trip to Fiji, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this. Do this. You know, something like that might come up. Some seed might be planted on the 20th of January, you know, and you plan your trip as a result of someone suggesting on the 20th of January, let's go for a trip to Fiji. Lo and behold, it changes your entire life trajectory. That's just how powerful this transit can be. It's also a combination that can really transform where you live. Now, a lot of people may not be aware of this, but the 9th house has to do with relocation. visa applications, living in faraway places, getting passports, all that kind of stuff. And so some of you might be able to really transform your life through travel, through going and living in another country, even if it's just for 6 months, or living in a different sort of cultural environment. Transform yourself, and transformation is available. So as I said, seeds can be planted around the 20th that will ultimately transform you through having those sorts of experiences. I've used travel as an example, but also learning something new. I will just mention, Gemini, if you want to study astrology, come do so with me. It's one of these things, these higher level, higher learning kinds of energies. It doesn't have to mean that you go to a university course and get a degree or a doctorate or anything like that. It just means studying something of the higher mind, not a trade or a skill that you put to practical use. It's about what expands the mind, philosophies, literature, the arts, medicine, law, things that are mentally, like high level mentally driven. So you might like to transform yourself by taking up some new course of study as well. Now, this is a house that pertains to influential figures like gurus, sources of inspiration, people that we look to as benefactors. And this is a time, Gemini, when you might get a bit disillusioned on the 20th of January with whoever you look to as a leader, as a source of being a benefactor in your life, or somebody who's an inspiration to you, because this is a Sun conjunct Pluto illuminates where power has been abused, illuminates secrets, and they come out, and so any form of manipulation or control that some gurus or some inspirational figures have been dishing out, it comes home to roost now. You find out about it, you know about it, and it can leave you feeling a bit disoriented. I had a girlfriend a number of years ago who was a big devotee of some Indian guru, and it came out that he was a horrible pedophile, and she was just crushed. It took her a couple of years to feel herself again, because she'd been so aligned with this dude's teaching. I guess it goes to show you don't put your faith in other human beings. But anyhow, we do have people that we find as sources of inspiration, and so this could illuminate the fallibility of somebody we have admired or looked up to. Okay, so I just give that as a bit of a warning. Probably nothing you can do about that, but it might come out. And if that does, then look to heal yourself. Pluto can be a very healing influence in his right energy, usually by doing some sort of psychological analysis, or doing deep therapy is a Pluto healing mechanism, getting some sort of therapy. So therapy can be art therapy, music therapy, dance therapy, those sorts of things. They're good to get involved in if you feel a bit crushed by some revelation about somebody that you looked up to and admired. Thank you for that, Gemini. Now moving on to Cancer. Cancer rising, Cancer sun, Cancer moon, people. Okay, my gorgeous Cancers. The energy of Pluto conjunct the sun will start in the 7th house and then move into your 8th house. So it's the 8th house focus we're looking at here for the 20th of January. And wow, this is the house. The 8th house is the house of taking your power back, owning your power, where somebody has taken it from you. And so Pluto conjunct Sun is saying, here, let me illuminate, Sun says to Pluto, let me illuminate where you've lost your power, where you've given your power away to other people. And then Pluto conjunct Sun is all about, and here's how you can take it back. Once you know it's been taken from you, then you can say, that's it, no more. No more taking my power away. You can call an end to it. So empowerment is yours. This is such a transformative way to start Pluto's transit through the 8th house. Pluto actually does very well in the 8th house, is very strongly associated with 8th house energy of transformation and rejuvenation and renovation of the self. So really it's quite a powerful time for doing that. But it starts with this kicker of realizing where you've lost your power, where you've been manipulated or controlled by others, and particularly when it comes to resources, where other people have used their resources to dominate you or control you or manipulate you, made you feel guilty. Oh, you owe me this because you did this to me, and so you have to pay me this money, or you have to give me this whatever car or whatever it is, where people manipulate you through some sort of control or guilt or shaming, that will be shown to you where that has happened, and you can say enough is enough. No way, it's over. So powerful time for you. I feel that for Cancer people, probably almost more than any other sign, maybe Leo people as well, but it's really about seeing where you are being abused by others, where you are being hurt and manipulated, and being able to stand up and say enough is enough. And that's a really transformative step to take, to call people out on their abuse and to call people out on where they let you down. And so transformation is certainly available to you in that regard, but you have to own it. And you have to be the one to say, that's it. The sun represents you and your ego. And the ego has to be strong enough to say, well, no more. I'm calling an end to this. So really, you're going to be coming to grips with, a side of who you are that's been perhaps traumatized, perhaps, wounded. And the 8th house can be a very healing house. And I mentioned this when I was talking about the 9th house for Gemini people, but Pluto is healing through therapy. And the 8th house is very connected to psychological therapy. So Cancer, if you're feeling, really let down and wounded by the material abuse of someone else, when someone has held over you with guilt and shame, some financial obligation, or somebody has taken your power away through, not allowing you to have resources, not allowing you to have money, that kind of thing that we do hear about from time to time. If that kind of material abuse has happened, then, unless you're a very strong, resilient type of person, I would suggest therapy is a good thing to do. Art therapy, music therapy, dance therapy, but even therapy can be just meeting with a friend and just letting it all out, sharing, acknowledging how you feel. It brings it out into the light so it can't hold you in that darkness any longer. So, any type of therapy, journaling is another great therapy. I find, before I met David, I used to go on a lot of long walks by myself and just process things and ponder things in my mind, having that time alone, because I'm Pisces. I do like time to myself to sit with things and process things. That's a source of therapy as well. So find what is therapy for you. It could be cuddling your dog, it could be therapy for you. Whatever is transformative healing for you. There's great power in that now for all of you Cancer rising people, and not just if you've been materially abused, but therapy can actually help you transform your sense of joy, your sense of happiness in life. Therapy can actually, under this energy particularly, can help you understand what your meaning and purpose is in life, what your dharma. That's what Pluto's sun is very much, when they come together, about having a sense of purpose that you're really striving for, and even being quite obsessive about it. So, this is a time where deep psychological work, doing therapy, can lead you to meaning and purpose in life and transform you and empower you. Now, another thing that can happen here is that there might be some illumination, sun will illuminate, of life's mysteries. You might come to a deeper understanding about death, about other dimensions, about reincarnation, about astral travel, about energy healing, about a deep understanding about how psychological work is so profound. The 8th house is about the hidden mysteries that is a part of life on earth. There's so much we don't understand, so much we haven't come to terms with. And anyone who's got a lot of planets in the 8th house will know that it's a real draw for them, a real fascination for them to try and understand the meaning and the purpose of life. So the sun moving into your 8th house, Cancer, with Pluto, can show you some deep, revelations about life's mysteries, about the meaning of life. So psychic aha moments or deep, like profound downloads, even supernatural, get my words out, supernatural experiences can happen around the 20th of January. So get ready, my friends. Could be quite exciting for you. Thank you, Cancer. All right, Leo rising, Leo sun, and Leo moon people. The energy of Pluto in a conjunction with the sun moving into your 7th house is happening, on the 20th of January. Okay, we're steady. So this is a very interesting placement. My dear Leo friends, we're all one. I'm a Leo sun. If you're watching this, this is speaking to the fact that somebody else, because the 7th house is other people, may have been causing some trauma in your life. Now, you may or may not be aware of it. And we don't like to point the finger and blame everybody else. We'd like to take responsibility for our own life. But one of the ways this can manifest is that the sun can illuminate the trauma, Pluto, of what other people have been putting on you. It could be, it could be in a marriage. Somebody, maybe your partner's been traumatizing you and you were kind of denying it or shoving it under the carpet and pretending it didn't exist. Secrets come out, and in this case, we're talking about secrets that you're well aware of, but you're denying are present. A spouse abusing you, or and that's mental abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, material, financial abuse, all those sorts of things. It mightn't be a spouse, it could be a business partner who's taking their, more than their cut on the side and leaving you financially destitute in your business and you thought everything was A-okay. It could be that, clients are taking advantage of, you could have something on you, let's say you've got an internet-based business and there's a glitch somewhere where people can order and they don't have to pay. And so that they're taking advantage of this glitch, and that's a form of abuse, So what we see here is that other people, 7th house, if they've been manipulating you, controlling you, abusing you, or there's a secret about them in some way, it can be illuminated when the sun moves into the 7th house. So that's one of the more negative ways that this can express, this energy. Mightn't express that way for everybody, but for some people it will. Now the 7th house is commitment. In the plus side, in the positive side, my beautiful Leo friends, this can be a super empowering combination, because what it does speak to is love and commitment transforming your life, changing everything from the way you feel about yourself and the way you're living your life to your material circumstances or your ability to manifest what you want. Everything can change because of love, because you're committed to somebody else. I love that this is another way this can manifest. Okay, so there's very much a dark side and a light side with the conjunction of Pluto and the sun. So you can be transformed through 7th house commitment, through being with somebody else. In fact, being with somebody else can turn out to be a big soul purpose for you now, particularly for the next 20 years as Pluto moves through your 7th house, Leo. Empowerment is yours through connection. Empowerment is yours through collaboration and partnering with others. Wow. As a Leo person who's recently got engaged, hello, there's my ring. I love this energy. Next 20 years, bring it on. I'm all for it. Empowerment through partnering. And we are going to be changed. We are going to be transformed through love. We hunger for that now. So this is a beautiful, beautiful energy if it is manifesting at that highest level. Some other things you might want to be aware of. You may meet a partner around the 20th. Now, not everybody will, but some people who've got the right alignments in their natal chart with this energy may meet a soulmate, may find someone that they want to commit to, might meet their destiny under this energy. It's a very, very powerful combination, I have to say. You might meet a very worthwhile business partner now, somebody that you establish some sort of amazing business with, and it just changes your life. So it doesn't have to be a love relationship, but a legal relationship in a business together, something like that. So big transformations can come through various forms of partnering. You might meet a client who transforms your life. Somebody who just thinks you are the bee's knees and are telling everybody about it, and suddenly your business explodes because, my God, they're a big social networker and everybody wants a piece of your pie. So very, very powerful opportunities are gained through collaboration. I will mention one of the shadow sides of this energy, and that could be power struggles with partners. There is a need with Pluto conjunct Sun here in the 7th house of others, and how we relate to others, to learn to compromise. These are two big planets that have a lot to do with our ego. And so, if you're in a business partnership, if you're in a marriage, if you're in some sort of committed dynamic, and there's a lot of argy-bargy and power struggles, do remember compromise is so important in relationship, considering others. I remember, I forget who it was who taught me. It might have been Ernst Wilhelm, or it might have been Alan de Botton. I can't remember who it was. But saying, I think it's Alan de Botton, we really need to treat our partners like children. Now that sounds condescending, but it's not meant to be. What it is recognizing the vulnerability of our partner. And if you're in a business relationship or a marriage relationship and both partners are treating one another as tender, vulnerable people who deserve to be cared for and considered and respected, then you can't lose, in any type of relationship dynamic. So remember that if you're tempted to assert your dominance, assert your power, have things done your way, or hit the highway if you don't like it, kind of thing, remember a little bit of give and take, a little bit of graciousness goes a long, long way. And you might have to consciously activate that, as this energy is quite a dynamic ego energy. Thank you, Leo. What an interesting time you are in for. All right, Virgo rising, Virgo sun, Virgo moon, people. The energy of Pluto in a conjunction with the sun, moving on the same day, it's so unbelievable, into the 6th house, is going to change your life in some way. Now, I do have to give you a bit of a warning, Virgo. Okay, deep breath, because this is a house of where things are imbalanced. Things are a bit out of control. Now, that can be, our diet, our exercise, our well-being, our health, but it's also enemies here. People who take us to court, people who are out to get us, people at work who are trying to undermine us behind our backs, that kind of yucky stuff. And Pluto in the shadow side of this energy, conjunct with the sun, means that if somebody has been trying to take you to the cleaners, if somebody's been cutting your lunch at work or with your girlfriend or something like that, then it's going to be shown to you. Illuminated. The sun will show this imbalance to you. If your health has, been going, downhill, but you weren't really paying it much attention, the sun can illuminate that by pulling you up with some kind of a incident or some kind of a unfortunate realization that, my health isn't actually what it should be. I need to get fitter, or I need to go on a diet or something, You go down the street, you try and buy a new pair of jeans, and lo and behold, you've got to buy 3 sizes bigger than you bought last year, and you're like, oh my goodness, this is a rude wake-up call, isn't it? Sun illuminating health, well-being, any kind of argy-bargy with other people, anywhere that's out of balance, your debts, your lack of education in a certain area, or your inabilities in some area can be illuminated as well. So sun with Pluto, what a doozy. If somebody, like I said, if somebody's trying to manipulate you or control you behind your back, it's going to be shown. Secrets come out, abuses are revealed. And this also includes the abuse that you dish out to your body. As I said, the 6th house has to do with our health and well-being, and the main culprit in, the abuses that happen to our bodies is us, and what we choose to eat, and what we choose to do with our time, and how we choose to use our muscles, and so on. So, if you've been letting yourself down in that regard, it will be shown to you as well. But you know something, and this is the shining side of this combination, this Pluto conjunct the Sun on the 20th, is that empowerment is yours. You know, if you're the one who's been letting your body down through the way you've been treating it or what you've been eating, well, you're the one who can turn it around. You can change this. Empowerment belongs to you. You can change your diet. And this is an energy that is going to give you the oomph that you need, the motivation, the willpower and the strength will be really enhanced for you to make those changes, for you to hit the gym, 4 or 5 times a week, for you to get on that health diet or the keto diet or whatever it happens to be that's going to transform your body. You have the power. So, make the most of this energy. I would encourage you, Virgo, to do an inventory of where in life you feel things are out of balance. And as the Sun and Pluto conjunct and they move into Aquarius, start making the changes. If you know about them, knowledge is power. If you know where the problems are, and that's what Sun's going to illuminate them for you, then they're no longer that scary thing in the basement, because you know about it. You've seen those cobwebs. You're going to clean them out, and then the basement's going to be clean. It's a very powerful energy once you know. Knowledge is power to transform yourself. So that's what I feel is this mostly talking about. But Pluto conjunct the Sun is a combination that often leads us to our soul purpose. And so Virgo, over the next, even 20 years as the Pluto remains in your 6th house, you might find that your soul purpose becomes good health, good nutrition, good diet, good daily routine, good management of your responsibilities and your debts and management of money and so on. That's where you might suddenly find your purpose. Now, not everybody has a life purpose to be a TikTok star. Not everybody has a life purpose to be a doctor with Doctors Without Borders out on the field or whatever, doing something heroic, service to mankind. That's not everybody's purpose. Some people's purpose is to own their own power when it comes to their health. Some people's purpose is to manage their life in a way that feels fulfilling. Some people's purpose might be to grow a garden or be a mum or be a wonderful cook, whatever it is. We're all different. We're all wired differently. Here, as the Sun and Pluto conjunct in the 6th house, you might find your purpose, your meaning for life in a very, I would say, ordinary manner. You might discover that what gives your life meaning and purpose is cooking beautiful meals at night. You might find that there's fulfillment and meaning and purpose in doing the bills, managing the books each week, not everybody is cut out to be a diva. There are people who find meaning and purpose in very ordinary things. In fact, that's incredibly beautiful. I find, I think there's a verse in the Bible that says, make it your aim to live a quiet life, to work with your hands. And there's a few other things it mentions that now escape me. But, we're encouraged to find fulfillment in the ordinary, in the everyday, in the little things. And this is something I actually really love about the Sun in a conjunction with Pluto in the 6th house. It gives you the power to see the meaning and the purpose and the beauty in all the little things that we experience every day. So pay attention, Virgo. On the 20th of January, there's probably going to be some little ordinary everyday things that bring delight to your soul and may go on doing so for the long term as Pluto transits through your 6th house. All right, Libra. Libra rising, Libra sun, Libra moon people. Well, we've got a conjunction of sun and moon down here for Libran people in the 5th house. And this, I'm a Libran moon and I am doing a happy dance. This is gorgeous. Now, we are going to start with some negatives because this is a real shadow and light kind of energy. Pluto is the darkness, god of the underworld, and the sun is the illuminating force in our solar system. And so there's quite a contrast here. This is a combination, a conjunction that can show us where we've been manipulated or where we are manipulating and controlling. And what is it all about? For Librans, I'm afraid, my Libran friends, it has to do with lovers, boyfriends, girlfriends, and children. What does that look like? Well, it could mean for some people, your children are manipulating you. Your children are, they've got you by the short and curlies, basically, and you are beholden to your children when it shouldn't be that way. That might be revealed to you around the 20th of January when the sun moves into this realm with Pluto. Elder abuse is what could be illuminated in some people's lives. That's what we can see here. Parental abuse. It can go the other way, of course, too, where it might be shown to you that you have been taking advantage of your children. Think stage mum, living vicariously through their children and giving their children a miserable life because of it. Stage mums, but also in small ways as well. Where are you manipulating and controlling your children for your own ego? I follow a Instagram site called Gays Against Groomers. It's a brilliant site, but it's also horrific, the amount of abuse that some parents are heaping on their children from, oh God, it doesn't even bear thinking about. So check out that site if you want to know more. I'm not going to go into it here, but that could be strong. Those sorts of circumstances could be very powerfully illuminated around the 20th of January, where parents are manipulating and abusing their children in really off ways. So that's the shadow side, boyfriends manipulating girlfriends and coercing them into doing things they don't want to do, or, controlling their lives and, being obsessive, and girlfriends sort of, obsessing over a guy to the point that they're stalking them and, acting really, what was that movie with the rabbit? I can't think of the name of the movie. Cheryl Ladd? No, I can't remember who the actress was, but Glenn Close. I can't remember the name of the movie, but that's the kind of thing, that really creepy, disgusting kind of controlling, manipulative, weirdo behavior. That's another thing in the shadow side we can see with this, and it could be illuminated, it could be shown to you where someone's stalking you or controlling you and that kind of thing. Someone you thought was a bit of all right and that didn't turn out to be. So that's the shadow side. Pretty dark, isn't it? But there is such a beautiful side to this energy. Such a beautiful side. What is it? It is that empowerment and blessing. This is a lucky house, is ours. We can take a risk. This is a house of getting out of your comfort zone and taking a risk, having a gamble with life. And in doing so, Sun conjunct Pluto in the 5th house, we can just have such great success, such huge success from, doing something we never thought we'd do, getting out of our comfort zone, taking a risk, pursuing something because we love it, doing something that brings us joy, can bring us such success, such empowerment, can transform our lives and change our lives forever. Getting involved in some sort of hobby. If we've got, like my hobby, everybody knows I love sewing when I get the chance. And, if you get involved in your hobby, it could lead to some sort of tremendous success. If those of you who saw my engagement photos recently on YouTube community page with David, I made my engagement party dress, which I was very, very proud of. That's my hobby, and it's through doing that, being involved in your hobbies and the things that you love and the creative expression, which is a 5th house thing, that involvement in those things brings you a source of empowerment. Whether it means, Kesenya's going to open a boutique, or whether it just means I feel so good by doing this, by doing my hobbies, by being in my creative source, then it's just so beautiful, and it can really transform your sense of self, your sense of self-worth, and your sense of power. So get involved with the hobbies and the things that you love, because it could really change your life. And for many people, it might actually lead you to a deeper, more fulfilling soul purpose to be involved in your hobbies. This energy, Librans, can actually lead a lot of you into making perhaps a career or a life out of your hobby. And that might evolve over the next 20 years while Pluto moves through the 5th house, but the seeds can be planted around the 20th of January when this happens. Soul purpose, soul meaning, and developing a mission for life. Wow, it's pretty exciting, guys. Another thing, this is the house of love. Look at this. I was talking about my relationship and how transformative it is for me, because I'm a Leo sun with this energy opposite me in the 7th house, but I'm also a Libra moon with this energy in the 5th house of love and romance. Hello, I'm so blessed. And so are you, my Libran friends. Love can transform you. Love can change you. Love can be can really give your life meaning and purpose right now, and can take you to heights of joy. 5th house is joy. Can take you to heights of pleasure and delight that you never even knew existed. So I'm all like, in the positive, bring on this energy. I'm feeling into it already. Transform yourself through love. Now, that can be the love of a pet. It could be the love of a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It could be the love of your children. It's through 5th house is love, and through the love of children, or the love you have for a child, the love you have for your pet, or whatever it might happen to be, the love for your garden, I don't know, but 5th house is things that we love. That love that you possess for someone else, or that they possess for you, can transform your life. Not only on the 20th of January, but going forward for the next 20 years. So exciting. So beautiful. So settle into that love energy, Find what it is you love. Surround yourself with what you love, the things you love, the people you love, and watch how this gorgeous combination changes everything in your life. For the better, for the good. I love it. Thank you, my beautiful Libran friends. Moving along, Scorpio rising, Scorpio sun, and Scorpio moon people. You can look at either or, all of those. Well, for you guys, the energy of Pluto and in conjunction with the sun, the darkness in conjunction with the light, is playing out in the 4th house. And there's quite a contrast with these two energies. This is let's start with the darkness first. One way this can manifest is that it might be revealed to you where there's been family secrets. Family secrets, great grandpa did this and we never found out about it until we, read such and such's will, 20 years after he died, and oh my God, this is family skeletons in the closet. Family secrets get illuminated under this energy. And look, it could be an immediate family member. It could go way back into the old lineage. You find out that, 500 years ago, your great-grandfather was, burning witches at the stake or something like that. You find out some past hidden secrets of your ancestry. Family abuses can come to light under this energy as well. So that can be either in the past or it can be in the present. You find out that, some aunt or some uncle's been up to no good, and those sorts of nasty, yucky things can come out and be revealed by the illumination of the sun at this time. Wherever, this is the house of the mother, maybe a maternal figure or the maternal line has been controlling or manipulative, dominant or obsessive in any way, that can be shown at this time as well. So forewarned, forearmed about that. It won't manifest that way for everybody. Unfortunately for some people, Scorpio, it may very well show itself at this time around the 20th of January. But there are other ways that this contrast of light and dark can manifest as well. And it's my prayer for everyone watching this that it manifests in the most blessed of ways. And that is through being able to transforming yourself. Now, you might have been very, after the last, let's say, 4 years of all the bullshit, you might be emotionally wrung out, exhausted, because it's been such an emotional roller coaster in the world. Well, this is the house of our emotions, and something might happen for you around the 20th of January that transforms how you feel emotionally. You might have been, feeling exhausted emotionally because of everything that's been going on, and then you discover something, and it changes everything, and suddenly you spring up like a jack-in-the-box, like your emotions are invigorated and empowered, and you feel joyful again, and you feel hopeful again. Something can happen in your life to change your emotional state of being and transform your emotional state of being. Something can happen to transform a family dynamic. here in the 4th house. So maybe the family was struggling, or the family was, in a difficult position or a difficult circumstance, and lo and behold, something happens as a result of this transit to change that family dynamic from sadness into joy. So one of the better ways that this can manifest. Empowerment belongs to the family here for Scorpio people. So whether you get along with your family or not, you might find that once this transit occurs and going forward for the next 20 years, you are more empowered by being part of a family dynamic, by tapping into your family heritage, by running the family business, by taking over the family property or land in some way. These sorts of things, happiness and empowerment and taking your power back wherever it is that you've lost it, can come from being associated with a family, whether it's your own or whether it's someone else's family. It doesn't really matter. In fact, Aquarius being the 4th house for a Scorpio person usually says that you'll get along better with your friends than you will your actual blood relatives. So it could be that you see your friends as your family, and there's empowerment through being part of a family dynamic with whoever it might be, family, pets might feel like your family, could be blood family, whatever. But there is empowerment, there is purpose, there is meaning through being part of something that feels like a family connection. Familial bonds are seen through the 4th house. And that's really beautiful. Some of you Scorpio people, there might be some seeds planted around the 20th towards having a family of your own. You might never have thought about it, and lo and behold, here comes this transit, and you're like, you know what? I wouldn't mind having a family, even if it's just a family of fur babies rather than actual children. But you might really start focusing on that now, and that might be a source of meaning and purpose for you going forward as well. Family, but also some of you might find that meaning and purpose comes from having a property, having land. That's seen through the 4th house. Having, investments in, Airbnb here and an Airbnb there maybe, gives meaning, gives purpose to your life. Renovating, doing up, like Pluto is renovation. And in fact, the sun can illuminate where you need to do a renovation on your home, where you thought everything was a-okay, and then you discover you've got termites in the wall, or there's rising damp or something that needs renovating. And while that's not very nice, it's one of the shadow sides, the illumination can lead you to making changes that are needed, that transform the way you live and your home life. So who wants to live in a house that's falling down around our ears? This is an energy for renovation, where renovation is needed, and restoration where it's needed as well. And that can happen in a very tangible, practical sense here in the 4th house. Restoration and renovation are Pluto themes, and the sun can show where restoration with family is needed and give you the power to change family dynamics as well, to heal family dynamics, to have therapy with family now. So really, this is such a powerful energy for creating family or restoring family, drawing family back together, and finding healing through family dynamics. So what an exciting time really, Scorpio, to heal the foundation of your life, be that in a bricks and mortar home or with your legacy or your heritage or your roots being family. Thank you, Scorpio. Moving along, Sagittarius rising, sun and moon people. Either or, we are seeing the change of signs by Pluto and the sun happening in the 3rd house, or affecting most powerfully your 3rd house now. And so this is the area of life where there's going to be sort of a real shadow and light effect. The shadow side, let's start with that. Pluto is darkness and sun is light. So the shadow side is that the sun can illuminate the darkness that's maybe sitting in the 3rd house. 3rd house is a business. If you run your own business, if you're trying to make money out of your own skill sets and your own capabilities, the sun can illuminate where you've been manipulated, where you've been controlled. I mean, like, let's be honest and real here. If you've got something on Amazon, let's say it straight, they are manipulating and controlling you as the creator. They take 40% of your revenue. What a load of bullshit. That should be known by everybody out there, and everybody should just walk away and say, I'm not buying from Amazon ever again. We have power. I'm on my bandwagon, sorry guys, but we have power as a group. And in fact, Aquarius represents the masses. So guys, get out there, stop buying from Amazon and buy from local suppliers instead. Buy directly from the seller so that Amazon doesn't get the monopoly, that they're not a techno-feudalist company any longer. Sorry, up on my bandwagon, on my soapbox there, but this is just so aligned with what I'm seeing happening here. You Sagittarian people have a great deal of power going forward for the next 20 years to encourage the world away from these technocrats like Amazon. Okay, calm down, Kesenya. Back to what we're talking about. Manipulation and control through businesses is what I was talking about here, where somebody, the sun illuminates how you have been manipulated and controlled through trying to run your own business, or for some people it will show where you, through your business, third house is your business, side hustle, home-based business, all that kind of thing, third house. It shows where you might have been manipulating things on the sly, and something might happen on the 20th of January that shows the world, hey, look, this guy is taking advantage. This guy is, cutting our lunch in a very illegal fashion, The sun illuminates the darkness, Pluto. So secrets come out now about how small businesses are running, whether they're above board or not. Secrets come out about how the big guys are abusing the little guys. This is a powerful time. Also let's move on from that. This is the realm of the chart that has to do with our neighbors and our siblings. So sometimes, even relatives as well, sometimes this conjunction can reveal where relatives have been causing abuse, where siblings have been taking advantage of other siblings, or, cutting the lunch of that's a phrase that means to sort of take advantage of a certain situation where they come out the winner over and above a sibling. Think about, legacies and wills and things like that, where someone gets more than another and it's not deserved, that kind of thing. So secrets about that sort of thing come out. Abuses of power from neighbors, siblings, relatives comes out too. And that can be pretty dark. My ex-mother-in-law had a terrible experience with a neighbor when she was growing up of an abuse of power. So, these sorts of things can be shown to us and illuminated to us at this time. So Sagittarius, hang on to your hats for what might be shown. That said, I should also mention tradespeople, people who, cut your hair or fix your plumbing or, build your kitchen cabinets or whatever, can be, you might be abusing them or they might be abusing you. Tradespeople are seen through this realm of the chart also. So, be aware that there could be some illumination in that regard. So this is the darkness of the third house, Pluto illumination. But there is a light side too. The sun is the light and Pluto is empowerment. And when they come together in this way, it can manifest in you being empowered, you being strengthened. Maybe you have your own business and you're like, I'm taking my power back. Screw Amazon. I'm going to start selling my product online through my own platform or whatever, and I'm trusting that the universe is going to empower me to do that. Just using some hypothetical example there, but you realize the manipulation that's going on and you say, I'm taking my power back. Pluto Sun conjunction. Empowerment comes to you regarding your business, regarding your skill sets and utilizing your skill sets. Empowerment comes to you to take your power back from a tradesperson who's been taking advantage of you, or if you are a tradesperson and someone's been taking advantage of you, you take your power back and say, that's the end of that job. It's over. Forget it. Finish your own kitchen cabinets. There's a level of power that comes back to you now, Pluto conjunct the sun. And of course the seeds of this can be sown now around the 20th of January, and the outworkings of it might last for the whole next 20 years, where you increasingly take your power back, own your power, and it's not able to be taken away from you again. 20 years. If you start now, you're going to be like in such a fabulous position by the time 2044 rolls around. This can be very transformative. Pluto conjunct Sun can transform you, can transform how you do business, how you buy and sell, can transform your relationship with your neighbors, can transform your relationship with your relatives for the good, you know. And doing this can help you find a sense of meaning and purpose. And for many Sagittarian people, meaning and purpose might be coming from writing something. Third house is to write, to communicate, to share knowledge. Meaning and purpose over the next 20 years for you might be coming from teaching something, teaching and sharing skills and sharing wisdom through teaching is a third house thing. Purpose and meaning might be coming from learning a new skill set, a practically applicable skill set, or it could come from running your own business. It could come from meaning and purpose for many Sagittarian people might come from practicing marketing or advertising and becoming skillful with those attributes as well. So Sagittarius, quite a powerful time of finding meaning, finding purpose, transforming where you're at with the third house things in your life. I'm excited for you, and I'm excited for the world on behalf of what you Sagittarian people are going to do to bring powerful change against technocratic governance, if you like. You know, we all know now that technocrats are and technological companies are taking advantage, manipulating, and running the show where they shouldn't be. So go Sagittarius, bring those guys back into line. Thank you, Sagittarius. Now, moving on to our final sign for this week, Capricorn. Capricorn rising, Capricorn sun, or Capricorn moon. Whoops, I've got the wrong side there. Either one of those three. Capricorn, you on the 20th of January might experience a level of shadow and light that you maybe have never felt before regarding second house things. Now, Pluto is the darkness being activated and illuminated by the sun's light when they come together and move into Aquarius on the same day. Wow. So you might find out where banks have been, abusing you through exorbitant fees, or, I don't know what banks abuse us in so many ways. Where do I start? But, manipulation of banks, control by banks. Banks are a second house thing. People who manage your money are seen through the second house. And you might be, maybe an accountant's been diddling the books and doing the dirty on you. Or maybe, there's been a sort of a dodgy loan made or something like that. These kind of financial secrets where you have been abused financially can come out now by people who are responsible for money, or you might have been deluding yourself as well, Capricorn, and spending more than you've got coming in, and then you look at your credit cards, you thought you were doing okay, and the sun then illuminates the darkness, and oh my God, that credit card bill is like phenomenal. How the hell am I ever going to pay? And the truth comes out. It could be a darkness like that, where you're the one responsible for the financial difficulty. So this is finances, but it's not just money, it's resources as well. If somebody has been economically abusing you and you weren't even aware of it, that can be shown to you now. Maybe your children had access to your bank account, or your children were maybe coming around and taking your jewelry out of your jewelry box, or your friend would come and visit you once a week or something like that, and every time, the silver from the cabinet would go missing, and these sorts of, this is abuse, this is economic abuse, and of course there's a million other examples of how that can take place. But the Pluto-Sun conjunction is illuminating. It's showing you where this is happening. So it can be revealed around the 20th of January, where there's abuse, where there's manipulation, where there's economic and resource control. The resources that we need to live our life, our clothes, our shelter, our food, our transport, these are the things that the body needs to live a good life. Abuses of economic and financial and material abuse can be revealed. Enough about that. There is a light aspect to this as well. Pluto in conjunction with the sun. Now, when Pluto changes signs, it is actually potentially going to bring a lot of changes to the economics of the world, because that always happens. And of course, the ingress chart, when Pluto is changing signs this time, is in conjunction with the sun. So there's going to be powerful changes materially in the world because of this. But I'm not here to talk financial astrology. I'm here to talk personal astrology. This is a time where, even though there might be upheavals in the beginning of this transit because of the conjunction of Sun and Pluto causing upheavals in your personal resources and your economic situation, in the end, you are going to get to a place of such empowerment that, my God, Capricorn people, you, over the coming 20 years, might be really sitting pretty financially in the end. You know, if you've been exploiting your credit card, well, it's going to be shown to you. And then you have the power to say, well, that's it. I'm reining in my spending and I'm going to start saving. And everything's going to change from now on. And in 20 years' time, lo and behold, what a nest egg you've got for your retirement or for whatever it happens to be. Because you made the changes. You transformed your financial situation beginning at the 20th of January. You planted the seeds. This is a time when the revelation that the sun brings can lead to ultimate transformation of your economic situation. So it's kind of like a death and rebirth energy in the material state of being, you know. Who you begin this transit of Pluto as will not be who you end the transit of Pluto as materially. So you can have power over your material situation. All you've got to do is choose it. Pluto being here will allow you to take power back where you've lost it, and in fact allow you to transform things phenomenally. Capricorn people, may I just say, Pluto is the ancient god of great wealth. Not just wealth, that's Jupiter. Not just money in general, that's Venus. No, Pluto is great wealth, like the billionaire kind of energy. And we all want Pluto in our second house, because Pluto, when he's well aspected and well situated in the second house, can really give us a materially abundant life. So I just encourage you, Capricorn, do the work to change your financial habits if you need to put some good systems in place, good structures in place for how you're going to handle your resources going forward, especially after the sun has shown you where there's a few, dark areas that need some attention. Know that over the next 20 years, beginning now, you are going to be able to really change things and generate great wealth for yourself. You have the power. Very, very exciting for our Capricorn friends. Well, my friends here on YouTube, thank you for sticking with me. I look forward to coming here on YouTube again with another Astro Weather Report next week. But in the meantime, be blessed as we go through this very transformational journey of Sun conjunct Pluto in Aquarius.